Hey everybody, No T here. Thank you for watching this video. And this is it. This is the last sort of like prerequisite before we start jumping into the actual Act 2 nightmare playthroughs and things like that. And it's the team composition for Act 2. So if you and your buddies are struggling to beat Act 2, I'm pretty confident in saying that this is the team composition that you're going to need or want in order to do that. And it's important to note, there's actually going to be a lot of repetition here. In fact, Holly and Carly have the same exact deck. As far as 12, you only get 12 cards in Act 2. Maximum 12 cards in Act 2. By the time Holly and Carly get to Grave Danger, they're going to have exactly the same 12 cards. The only difference between the two decks is Holly is going to get more grenades earlier, and Carly is going to get more grenade damage early. And so 2 cards are basically flip-flopped between the two decks. Right, so this is not about, not a time for vanity or hubris or showing off how creative my deck building skills are. This is about beating Act 2 with your friends. And between Holly and Carly, they're going to have like 14 grenades that do a crap ton of damage. So you can beat Act 2, and you don't need to grenade dupe. There is quite a money expense here, as you might imagine. So one key component to playing this deck successfully is resource management, just understanding when you really do need to throw a grenade or not, especially for Mom or Doc, because Mom or Doc is. So let me say this: Holly and Carly will both have grenades. Mom and Doc will have pipe bombs and flashbangs. Which character carries the pipe bombs and which carries the flashbangs? Up to you. Doesn't matter. Either way, right? Between Mom and Doc, they're gonna have 12 grenades, I think. So you're going to have 6 pipe bombs and 6 flashbangs. So just a huge money sink, money expense. And you should see how we deal with that a little bit. But we have Share the Wealth, Double Grenade Pouch, and Cross Trainers. And this is for Call to Arms. You get 3 cards on the first map. And then we have Superior Cardio. And this is basically, right, our basic foundation. If you've seen my videos, you know that I love some sort of money generation right out of the gate and Double Grenade Pouch. And that's going to be just a beautiful foundation for you to deal with anything in nightmare mode. I think it's the most powerful combination you can do in the game. With good pacing and good resource management, you can complete most levels with 3 grenades. The cross trainers and the superior cardio, I do believe that every deck should have at least 1 stamina or movement speed based card. We just have 2 though. We just have 2 here for the handyman. These 2 cards really aren't enough if you're planning on like speedy zooming, speed running through handyman, but it's going to give you just enough stamina, just a little bit extra movement speed, right, just to take the edge off, because basically the way that you're going to be playing handyman is that, and I actually recommend that you go and watch my walkthrough, right, not a playthrough, not my nightmare playthrough. I'm going to do, and I have done just a typical walkthrough of the map of Handyman and Call to Arms, because the Handyman is going to be all about moving your team to the correct position when the horde shows up. Because in Handyman, everything is a spawn location. Your presence near these spawn locations does not matter. The game will happily spawn a tall boy literally underneath your feet and have him crawl out of the muck and be right there. So understanding where you can go and where really nice places are to defend from in the water plant for handyman is critical. And so if you just watch that little playthrough, you'll see like 2 or 3 decent locations that you can run to and be relatively safe when the horde shows up. And that's just and so all you need is cross trainers and superior cardio to accomplish that. Holly then will get bomb squad for pipe cleaners. At the start of Act 2, you start off with getting ferocious mutations right out the gate, but with these grenades still do a crap ton of damage. They do like 590 points of damage on a direct hit, which is going to chunk any of the tall boy variants for about half its health. So with 1 grenade and then your whole team focus firing a tall boy, you can kill it relatively, right? Can you hear that snap? Relatively quickly. At pipe cleaners, though, we run out of movement space, right? We run out of space. In Call to Arms and in Handyman, lots and lots of space that you can sort of get away with not even using a grenade if you don't have to and things like that. Pipe cleaners, though, again, we're back to this glorified hallway sort of a map. So now we have Bomb Squad for Holly. Her grenades are going to be pretty close to or actually one-shotting the tall boy variants. And then Holly is just going to increase her quantity here, right? Grenade pouch, surplus pouches, improvised explosions, and demolitions expert. Card number 9 is Broken Wing, the helicopter mission where you're hooking up the weapon crates. And so you just see her, Holly is going to have extra grenades early. So Holly's grenade job is going to be, obviously, if she's the person most conveniently, or person in position to throw a grenade at a tall boy or things like that, or if somebody's going to get hurt by a tall boy, Holly, feel free to throw a grenade, whatever. You don't want to save resources for health a lot of the times. But all these grenades are going to be really nice for dealing with just RMG randomness, because she's going to have extra ones early on. Hawkers, stingers that show up in like weird positions and things like that. Holly will be prepared for them. And then just extra explosive damage. And at this point on, for Heralds of the Worm and Part 2 of Heralds of the Worm, and into Grave Danger, it's just extra accessory damage, extra health to compensate for the fact that we have glass cannon and surplus pouches, just to take the edge off a little bit, because if you don't have hydration pack, you actually don't have enough health to survive a hit from the tall boy. It will instantly kill you. So this hydration pack will basically, so long as you're not traumatized out, you'll have just enough health basically to survive a couple of hits from a mutation. I think exploders still kill you in one hit with this build. Maybe not Holly specifically because of the damage resistance, but anyway, just to take the edge off, because health is like our mistake resource. If you make a mistake, it usually costs you health, and the more mistakes you have, the less likely that you're going to have health before you finish the mission, right? So just a little, take the edge off the mistakes here, because between Holly and Carly, you're going to have plenty of damage. Here's Carly's deck, almost literally the same. The difference is 6 and 7 are not grenades. It's extra explosive damage, demolitions expert, grenade training, and then for Broken Wing, Carly gets surplus pouches. So Carly goes for damage earlier, and then one extra grenade right when you get the Broken Wing. And Carly's grenades are going to be definitely one-shotting the tall boy variant, so if you have the convenience of it, Carly should be the one tossing grenades at troublesome tall boys when they show up and things like that. Extra grenade pouch, hydration pack to take the edge off, and then glass cannon. And that's it. It's just a crap ton of damage. Carly's going to have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 grenades. Carly and Holly will have 14 grenades between the both of them. You don't need a grenade dupe. So long as you have the money, you have a crap ton of grenades. Mom and Doc's decks are going to be a little bit different. They're both the support characters here. Share the Wealth, though, Grenade Pouch, Cross Trainers, Superior Cardio. These 4 cards are just going to get you the foundation you need, the foundation that I love, and then the 2 cards that just are going to make the Handyman way, way, way easier, giving you more than enough stamina and movement speed to get from pretty much anywhere on the map to one of these 2 or 3 key holdout locations as you're playing through. But here for pipe cleaners, no bomb squad, right? Mom or Doc, between the 2, are carrying pipe bombs and flashbangs, so they're not going to have any grenade damage. They're just utility. Hazard pay, because you're going to need a crap ton of money. Just a crap ton of money. I will say, if you don't like hazard pay, or if you feel like your team is using grenades too often and you end up not having enough money as you play through the levels, you can try replacing hazard pay with money grubbers. The way the math works out, you need to loot 11 piles of copper in order to get more money than hazard pay. Looting 11 piles of copper gives you like almost 300 copper in total. So at 11, between 10 and 11, at 10 piles of copper, you're just a little under 250, and at 11 you sort of skyrocket past it just about. So just keep that in mind. I've never really counted how many copper pyres I tend to loot in my playstyle and my playthroughs, but that's the way the math works out. It's something to consider if you do end up using too much money, because I do want to say pipe bombs are expensive. Pipe bombs are expensive, and the grenade expense will add up because you're going to have so many grenades. 14 grenades. Each round is a crap ton of money. So ideally, you're not burning through that many throwables until you get to Broken Wing, and until you get to Heralds of the Worm and Heralds of the Worm Part 2 and things like that. So just so if you are having money problems, consider maybe you're moving too slowly, or consider that you're using their grenades too recklessly. Then you maybe need to be a little more stingy with them. Things like that. Hazard pay for mom for the extra cash. And then experienced EMT. Experienced EMT for trauma recovery and the extra health. That's going to help take the edge off again for Holly and Carly, who are sacrificing a bunch of health for extra damage. Shoulder bag for more pain pills. Doc can carry 4 pain pills at this point. Recommend that Doc just carry pain pills. Surplus grenades, again, for the grenade cause. Headband magnifier for Broken Bird. Mom and Doc are going to be the two people connecting the things. Mom and Doc will be the ones making the decision as to whether or not they need to throw a pipe bomb at all as they hook up the weapon crate. And Holly and Carly will just be shooting the horde and keeping back mutations with their grenades and things like that. Mom then gets chemical courage. She's gonna have she's gonna have 4 pain pills. She's gonna eventually have 5 pain pills with the fanny pack. So Mom's job is going to be here at Herald of the Worm. When it's time to throw grenades, Mom was gonna run over and pop pills onto Holly and Carly, just automatically, just pop them, because it's gonna save grenades in the long run, basically. And also, too, if you miss grenades or only get like half a hit of a grenade, you don't direct hit with the grenade, you can take the edge off. Just more damage, just to guarantee that whatever grenades you do have, if you even if you don't end up having the 14 grenades, popping an extra 2 pain pills, cheaper than grenades by 25 copper, and maybe saves you a grenade or 2, things like that. But it's just damage on damage on damage on damage for the boss rush, right? Because past 9, right? 9 is Broken Bird, 10 is just the boss rush. Poultice, just to get more value out of the pain pills, more support. Fanny pack, because Mom is just a pain pill machine. Mom is the most favorite person at the rave, you know what I mean? In Act 2, though, you only get 12 cards. We have a 13 card here. Right? Right. Anyway, you know, what's his face? The guy who got mauled by a bear. Shutter Island. Leonardo DiCaprio, right? You're telling me you have an extra 13th patient? Anyways, it wasn't that a funny joke? You only get 12 cards in Act 2. So the thing is, if your team wipes by the time so if your team beats Broken Wing, and now you're on Herald of the Worm, and your team wipes, and you're gonna reset at Herald of the Worm, don't get Headband Magnifier. You cut it out. You don't need it anymore. We literally just have Headband Magnifier for Broken Wing. So once you get the checkpoint past Broken Wing, you can just remove it from the deck, and that'll leave you with 12 cards. And you get mandatory PT at the Grave Danger, because the strategy that I'm going to recommend is don't hide in the church. You can, if you want to just like throw flashbangs at the door when anything shows up as you're waiting for the breakers and things like that. But so recommend that you have a little bit of extra mobility, and because you have 2 ways to play it. You can sort of like take the time to slowly herd all the snitches together, and then you kill them all at once. And then I actually recommend that you go out and hunt down one of the 2 breakers. If you can ping them and find them, sprint towards that breaker, aggro him, he'll summon a storm, and then you grenade him down, and you remove the storm from the map. and then you have all the space of the map to freely chase down the second breaker. And so I actually find that easier, especially in my solo runs, than holding out in the church with random people or with the bots. So just a tiny bit more stamina to allow your team to do that more successfully. Doc's deck is also a support deck here. Hazard Pay at Pipe Cleaners. The same 4 cards to deal with Handyman. Hazard Pay Pipe Cleaners. Inspiring Sacrifice to synergize with Mom's Extra Life. Medical Professional. Shoulder Bag. So Doc here has the option to buy medkits or defibs. Again, there's going to be a lot of money issues with this campaign. There's tons and tons of money issues. You can replace Hazard Pay with Money Grubbers if you find that to be more successful with your team's ability to loot and things like that. Shoulder Bag just for extra support items, extra trauma resistance, and etc. You don't necessarily need to run medkits on Doc. You can run bandages or pain pills as well, and just sort of have the occasional defib if you need it and things like that. But for the most part, this is just to get you to Broken Bird, really. That's sort of the main point here. We're just trying to get the Broken Bird healthy enough that we have wiggle room to make some mistakes on Broken Bird. Medical Professional will sort of fall off in value once you get to Herald of the Worm, but still kind of a nice clutch thing if you can avoid healing at a med cabinet by the time you get to Grave Danger, because Doc has kept you healthy with a defib or with a med kit, which is slightly cheaper and has the ability to go on sale. So one thing to consider is, because there's going to be a huge grenade expense for this team, maybe you only buy med kits when they go on sale, and then you just use them as necessary, and that's going to save you more money. If using one med kit means that you don't have to use a med cabinet later, that can be a 200 copper save. That will add up over time, hopefully. Headband Magnifier again for Broken Bird. And then Doc is going to have the sort of same debuff build of Shredder marked for death. So basically when the monstrous ogre shows up in Herald of the Worms, she pings it, she starts shooting it, everyone throws the grenade, right? Polly and Carly can coordinate how you want to throw grenades at it. Things like that. Mad Carrier, just to give her more ammo, more damage. Just a little bit here, not a big deal. And then Speed Demon for more reload speed. So Doc is going to have like a little bit extra crowd control. So Doc can like ping the boss, unload a magazine into it, and then she can reload and then refocus on killing Common if she needs to. Just because at any point in time, if she can save a flashbang or a Molotov by killing things faster or keeping the Common away from you, that's a plus. Ammo bullets are way cheaper than grenades, right? So Doc will sort of have that dual role of providing crowd control, but also pinging the ogres and the breakers when they show up. And again, to 13th card. So once you get past Broken Bird, remove Headband Magnifier from the deck or skip it. Get Speed Demon instead. And that's it. And that's the deck. So two Grenadiers and then 2 support characters. One that's like full support, extra bit of damage, and the Doc is like a support, trauma resistance plus debuff cards. The big thing that you're going to run into is just managing your resources, having enough money to get to Broken Bird. That's the really big money sink, is getting to Broken Bird with enough cash to have a decent amount of resources. You'll probably still have some money problems in Herald of the Worm, but with like getting some value out of the minigun, like also too, like Doc can potentially use the minigun. I didn't think about that. Where is Shredder in relation? Oh, perfect, yeah. Doc should be the person using the minigun, so that she can get the value out of Shredder. Bam. Already got it covered. Put it where it makes sense. Doc should use the minigun, because those first 2 maps have free miniguns on it, so Doc should use the minigun for Shredder. You can coordinate with that team. There's gonna be a lot of like who throws what when and things like that, and Doc, we need you to ping the target, start shredding it, and then Doc goes, all right, you're good to go, I've done it, and then Mom comes, and I'm going to give you some chemical courage, and So there's going to be some nice team interactions as far as like how you're using your resources on each other and with each other and things like that. And then when you get to Grave Danger, and I'll talk about this more when I do the Grave Danger walkthrough, but basically there's two ways to play it. You can hold out in the church if you have plenty of flashbangs, and you can even potentially ferry some extra flashbangs, because the issue with holding out in the church is breakers don't move very fast. So when you kill the 5 snitches and the breakers show up, typically all the tall boys, all the wretches, all the others, all the zombies, those all get to the door and are flooding through the door before the breaker gets there. And so then you're going to have the temptation of throwing your grenades at tall boys that are in your way. And so one strategy is you can, as a mutation shows up at the door, you throw a flashbang. And as a new mutation shows up at the door, you throw another flashbang. And you just keep the door constantly stun locked. The issue is you run the risk of running out of flashbangs before both breakers show up. The other strategy for Grave Danger with this team is, again, I have the PT, the mandatory PT training. You can run around as a team or go 2 and 2, and you actually start by just killing 2 snitches at the same time, and then 2 players on each side move to the next snitch, kill 2 snitches, and then all 4 players meet up at the very last snitch, wherever that might be, kill that snitch together, and then you move as a unit towards sounds of a breaker. You need to find one of the breakers really quickly. You can shoot him to aggro him, he'll jump to you. You grenade him, and you basically just run a circle around the map, hunting down the breakers. That's also an alternative strategy that I'll cover in the walkthrough video as well and sort of demonstrate. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys here. So not very exciting decks. Mom and Doc's decks are a little more interesting, but Holly and Carly are just going to be dishing out the pain. Super easy peasy. Pull out a grenade, you throw it, things die. And you don't need a grenade dupe. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Let me know how this deck works out for you guys. And I'll see you in the future.